All right, man, it's T and I'm back with a brand new video, and it's on Revival Fitness. Yes, he's peak week. He's getting ready for a competition. He's getting ready for the NATTY competition of bodybuilding, which is fake anyways too. Doesn't exist. But hey, he's trying to compete with these other fake bodybuilders that do it for cosmetic looks, taking drugs for a cosmetic fake look. But okay, whatever. He's trying to do it, I don't know, in the natural world. Let's hear what he has to say. So Revival Fitness says, peak week. This gym lifting, I don't know how to categorize him. I don't know. Natty slave? The Natty slave. Yes, okay. The Natty slave. All right, let's see. The Natty slave peak week. Peak week, 6 days out, classic physique prep and this diet. This is classic physique, this prep diet. I think he's down to like, what does he say, 150 pounds or something? There's something I'm going to explain in this video in the beginning, like what he says about muscle, how much he built. He built 0. But okay. I just watched the beginning part right now, so I put it back to the beginning. I want to watch it all over again. I didn't watch the whole video, but let's review this.
Chest up, shoulders back.
Yes.
This is Revival Fitness, your home for gains and brains. And I'd like to formally welcome you to the Peak Week 2024 vlog series. So, over the next few days as we go into my show, I'm going to be posting these videos. They're going to be pretty raw, just kind of talking.
Wow, he thinks he's going to become a huge star on YouTube. He's going to sell his programs and everything like everybody else. He got super skinny and he's going to go compete, and he wants to sell you the program how you could get super skinny like he did. Wow, what an achievement, eh? He's never built any muscle. I'll prove it.
Going over what I'm doing, maybe some training footage and some posing. That's going to pretty much be the extent of it, but I'm going to document everything I'm doing. I am in much better condition than I was for my first show. That's what this show is.
He is in better condition? What?
Mainly serving as, you could call it redemption for the first one, if not even redemption, because I suppose that's too strong of a term. Maybe not, but it's really a correction. This is Saturday, and my show is a week from today, and
I love how he was walking like to pretend as if he's like big or something, and in fact he's really, really, really small. He's around 6 feet tall. Okay, now I'm like, I don't have a lot of body fat on my body, really. And I'm an older person, but whatever. I don't have a lot of body fat, okay? And I weigh, like, right now, 250. I can't see myself weighing 150 pounds. If I were to cut just 10 pounds, but that's not what I try to do. When I condition myself, it's totally different. Conditioning means lowering body fat and increasing muscle. But it's very specific. I told you, nobody out there is building muscles, and I'll prove it to you, okay? And this has nothing to do with me. I just say I weigh. The highest I've ever weighed was 285. And I definitely lost quite a bit of muscle over the decades. The only reason, at the end of the decade, when I reached my 40s, I never lost anything before that. Because I was busy again, working and doing a bunch of stuff, okay? So I had a life, man. I burnt out a lot of it. Partying and doing a bunch of other things, whatever. But that didn't mean I lost all of it, get it? And then not all of it is, you know, when you're lifting weights, doing this stuff, whatever, you're eating carbs. It's not all muscles. There's going to be a lot of carb loading there too. Maybe 20 pounds. Some people can go up to 30, 40, a lot more than that, trust me. But whatever. So it's about him. He's weighing 150 pounds. He's going to tell you, look at his legs. They look average. His legs look average. He looks average. He just looks like he looks like a skinny ectomorph now with good abs. That's about it.
I'm going to go over now my peak week diet, at least the baseline of it.
See how he's squeezing? He has no lats. He has no arms, no lats. He doesn't have anything. He just has very low body fat. He has absolutely 0 muscle here. This is just low body fat, ectomorph, low body fat. He never built any muscle. I try to explain in my videos, none of you are building muscles unless you get adaptations. And it's really hard to get an adaptation in muscle. It's hard to get an adaptation so you could build real muscle. It's really hard, I'm telling you, man. You're just putting energy in your muscles, and then you're expelling this energy, putting it back in, expelling it, going to the gym, putting it in and out, this energy going in and out, glycogen in the muscles, out, glycogen in, glycogen out, and all this kind of weird stuff.
And I think I am in good enough shape to...
Honestly, this is insanity, man.
...be competitive. I see some people commenting like, oh, you're not lean enough, bro. Actual bodybuilders are 5%. And I'm like, dude, have you ever actually competed or seen a lot of these amateur shows? People have no understanding of
Amateur shows? You're talking about people that are not faking it. They're doing it for cosmetic purposes. They're taking drugs. Yeah. He's trying to do this. He's trying to mimic something that's artificial, that is fake. It's not real. He's trying to mimic these people. It's not going to work for him.
statistics. They see Chris Bumstead and Ramon Dino and all these guys at the high pro level where they
Yeah, what about them? They're all on these cosmetics to fake the look. Are you doing that? No.
see even the so-called natural competitors and they're like completely
Natural competitors. No lats, no arms. This is an ectomorph body. The only thing he has got is nice abs, and that's only because you could see them because low body fat. Ectomorph, low body fat body. Get it? Yeah, man. I don't see any muscle growth here at all, anywhere. Where is the muscle growth at 155 pounds at 6 feet? Come on, man. Give me a break.
They've been competing for 10 years, right? And they're like, well, you're not as ripped as those guys. I'm like, yeah, obviously not, man. So that's another whole element of bodybuilding too, man, the subjectivity. People say bodybuilding's a sport. It's really not. So depending...
I don't know. Could be classified as a sport. You're lifting weights, aren't you? Here's the thing, man. Alex Leonidas, you know Alpha Destiny, right? His channel. Okay. So he's like 5'4" and he weighs like, what is it? He says 150, 160 pounds, 150 pounds. Well, this guy's 6 feet tall, weighing 150, 55, 50 pounds or something. He's like Alpha Destiny. What? Alpha Destiny's 5'4", dude. You're 6 feet tall. Come on, man.
On what the judges are feeling one day, they might reward the most ripped person. They might go for the size instead. We'll have to see who shows up. That's another aspect too. But at this point, the name of the game is getting as lean as possible, making those final little reductions in body fat. I mean, calling it a diet's kind of a misnomer because it's a very short.
Yeah, he's trying to get as skinny as possible. He never built any muscle. That's it.
Term thing. I would not do this long term or recommend it. By the way, don't try any of this stuff at home.
Okay.
I am a trained professional.
Right.
What I really mean is I'm just a bro making YouTube videos, but I am bearing the risk, not you. But I stepped on the scale this morning, and I should have got a picture or video of it, but I was 154 pounds. Or sub 155, gentlemen. I know.
Dude, 154 pounds. Do you all think that he built any muscle? 6 feet tall, 154 pounds. I don't know what he said. What did he say? He's at 5% body fat. Yeah, okay. Let's just say he is at 5% body fat. Okay. Regardless, whether it's 5 or 8% or 9%. I mean, 5% or 9%. I mean, bro, 154 pounds. This is crazy. He didn't build any muscle. Where is the muscle?
I might get down to 150. Now, when I carb load later in the week, that's going to go back up again. So on stage, I'll probably be heavier than my absolute.
150? Oh, and then he's going to carb load before he goes on stage so he blows up like a balloon? Oh, okay.
Lowest weight point. But for all intents and purposes, I am down to the weight that I was whenever I started training.
He's trying to copy these fake bodybuilders. Oh, man. On drugs. Good luck.
Almost 8 full years ago. And that might sound completely insane to you, like, well, how could that make any sense? You've added all this muscle. I'm going to make a full video about this coming up too, guys, but you don't
What muscle?
realize how much body fat and water retention that you're holding on to. Especially with the standard diet that most people follow, which is high carb, that puts water on you by default. So I'm not focused on a scale number per.
This is what I try to explain to everybody in my videos. All of you are going to the gym. You're chasing something elusive. You are all building sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles because you've all adapted to your exercises. You call it newbie gains. Science calls it myonuclear domain size limit. You call it newbie gains. Get it? You've adapted to all the exercises in your gym and you've run out of what? Adaptations. And you don't know how to squeeze out new adaptations. You don't know how to get them because you just don't know. It's like you think that the fake diet you're eating is a real diet when meanwhile it's a slave diet. You've been tricked. You've been conditioned a certain way. You've been conditioned in the gym so you could keep losing. They don't want you winning. They don't want you getting big and strong. They want you weak and small and good at lifting a heavy weight.
Say, because as a classic physique competitor, I don't have a real weight class. I have to be under 202 pounds.
LeaseWeb has a wide array of business.
102 pounds, and I'm almost 50 pounds under the weight cap right now, so I think I'm going to be okay. So to maximize my potential, I need to get as shredded as possible, and I think I've done a pretty good job up to this point, much better than I did last time, without question. I mean...
Well, he got shredded, but he never built any muscle.
Dude, I am probably minimum 5% body fat leaner now than I was prior. In my last show, I did not even get sub 10% body fat by the time I stepped on stage. The whole thing in hindsight was kind of painful. I look back on old videos of myself at that point, and I'm like, I'm 5 weeks out, and I look at it and I'm just like, oh, it's like hard to watch. It's almost embarrassing. But to add those final details, I am doing the protein sparing modified fast. You guys have probably heard this, even if very briefly. Psmf is the acronym. And what it essentially entails is eating just protein and a very scarce amount of fat and maybe throw in some vegetables. But pretty much
should have ate higher animal fat and low on the protein here.
99% of your total intake for the day when you're on this protein sparing modified fast is just from lean protein. And this is what I spent all of last night doing. I spent multiple hours on my stove with my cast iron pan. It's going to be between 2 and 3 total pounds of chicken a day. And this is lean chicken breast. There's going to be a little bit of fat on here by default, but that is it. This is all I'm eating. Chicken with salt added, didn't even do any other seasonings just to be safe, and drinking water. And you can see behind me the cabinet, I do have the post-show pig out meals, or at least some of them, some of the snacks. I was at the store the other day getting the chicken, and I said, oh, I'm just gonna buy all the stuff I want to eat after the show. They are here. I have to be careful about that, because if I get a serious craving, I could open up that door behind me and essentially lose everything. That's a real fear, man, that binge eating, especially when you restrict like this for so long. I have to button it up. I think I can last a handful of days. But if we take 4 ounces of chicken at 25 grams of protein, some people would argue it's going to be 30. I would say 25 to be safe, even if it's 20. I mean, there's no...
Chicken's like the worst meat, man. It's putrid. It's a carnivore animal. It's nasty. You can call them omnivore or whatever. They're carnivores. They're nasty, putrid. They carry parasites, bacteria, viruses. This is shit. And even when you cook them, you have to really thoroughly cook them, right? That's why they cook these animals. When they eat carnivore animals, these people, like eating dogs and fucking cats and whatever the fuck they're eating there. These chickens and pork and everything, these carnivore animals, man, they're nasty. That's why beef can be eaten raw, because it's herbivore.
No way you're going to be able to eat that much protein to facilitate any body fat gain. I mean, I'm doing some cardio too. I think I did 5 miles on my treadmill under the desk this morning. That's probably going to taper down this week too because of the overall low food intake. I noticed this, the more cardio that you do, the leaner you get, the more your appetite really revs up. Like the past few days, just from general circumstance, I used to wake up during this prep for almost up until a week or so ago, and I would just religiously get on that treadmill and just walk. The past week or so, man, the past 10 days, my body's not even doing that. Like, I will just look at the treadmill and my head's like, don't start it. You know what I mean? And I can push myself through it, but I was easily hopping on and I was like, all right, this is what I got to do. And it was just sort of a secondary habit for a lot of the prep. But even recently, man, that treadmill, I just look at it and I'm like, oh my God. And I would even start it some days and walk and start my work on my computer, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's just so annoying. Like even just a little swaying and shaking that I was totally accustomed to prior to that point, that's bothering me. I mean, I'm gonna make a video too about all the side effects of getting this ripped. Very irritable, very short-tempered, snap at stuff. I yell at my computer all the time. I'm in my car. Someone hits their brake lights a little bit in front of me. I'm like, you motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. You get very
Yeah, you know, it kind of happens when people are starving themselves. Don't you think, dude?
irritable, the whole hangry stuff. It's no surprise that a lot of people that compete, whether it's just them or if they compete with their boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever, no surprise a lot of relationships end during preps. I could totally see that happening. My last prep, I was with a woman at the time who was terribly toxic. Maybe I'll dive into more details about that, but she did not help things. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the protein sparing modified fast and the chicken. You see, I'm a disaster at this point, man. I can't even keep a cogent, coherent thought, okay? But let's assume that we have 25 grams of protein in 4 ounces of chicken. If I eat 2 pounds of chicken, because 16 ounces is a pound, I know the commie math, doesn't add up here. And by the way, guys, I know I joke about the whole commie math thing, but really the metric system is much easier. Imperial American units are very, very odd. But 16 ounces is 1 pound. 1 pound is what? I think 0.45 kilograms or so. So if I do 1 pound of chicken, 25 times 4 is 100 grams.
But then you take my 75% chance of winning and then add 66 and 2/3%.
If I eat 2 pounds of chicken, that's 200 grams, which is over my body weight noticeably. That's all I really need. Some people, in terms of a protein-sparing modified fast, they will push the protein very, very high. I was looking at 300 grams of protein per day, and I would have to eat basically 3 pounds of chicken. The math is easy because
The numbers don't lie.
1 pound is essentially 100 grams based on my rough math. And as I've told you guys many times, the whole calories and macros thing, it's all about ballparks. Ultimately, getting this stuff down to a T is just not happening. A lot of you guys have to mentally get over that. And if my overall energy just really starts to tank, I will probably include maybe 2 to 3 whole eggs with this as well, just to get some healthy fat in there. And the EPA, DHA, vitamins and minerals, omega-3s, all that stuff. So those are definitely an option. I'm trying to stick to just the chicken as it is because I want to kind of follow this as pure protein as possible, but the eggs are always going to be on the table if I do encounter some problems. But given the time frame,
Me personally, I'd be eating a high fat carnivore diet, man. I don't know why he's doing this. He's punishing himself. Eat high fat. It'll give you more energy, make you feel better. You lose fat a lot quicker. Fat adaptive, man. Fat adaptive. Think about that.
I think I'm going to manage. You can also see on top of my fridge levels of grass-fed and soy-free whey protein. They also have casein available too. I'll probably incorporate some of that, especially.
The problem with him eating all this fucking chicken or whatever, all this protein, can convert to glucose. That's the problem with that. Yeah. I would not eat that putrid stuff. What is this, protein powder? I wouldn't eat any of that. What's in there, man? Maltodextrin?
If I'm on the go, namely on the day I travel to the show and whenever I am there, because I'm going to have the meetings and the tanning. I got to check into the Airbnb, all this other stuff. So protein powders are going to be very convenient for that point as well. If I don't have to, I don't want to carry around a cooler and ice packs and all these other things. So if you guys want to give my protein powder a try, you can use code MKAG20 at levelsprotein.com. You're going to get 20% off of your entire order, and that code is able to be used indefinitely. You can use it as often as you would like. I did arms yesterday. Today I'm probably going to just do some abs, maybe some legs, light legs. The training schedule for the final week gets kind of thrown off because the Friday before the show, every source I've ever read says you shouldn't train the day before the show.
Yeah.
Maybe very light circuits or something. Other people say, like, don't train legs at all the week of the show. Some say stop training 3 days out. Some say 2. There's a lot of conflicting information. And something to keep in mind, too, guys, I don't have a coach, right? I do this all on my own. I do my own training, my own macros, all of this stuff. I'm my own posing coach, which probably is a mistake. I did do...
Man, that's a lot of work to put into one of these phony shows, natty phony, whatever you want to call them shows. But hey, man, each to their own, you know. I find it interesting what he's saying here, or what he's doing here. But I don't know. You tell me if you find this interesting. I don't know.
A consultation call, like a video call with a woman who is an IFBB pro. But she gave me a lot of good tips. It's just me implementing them more so because posing to me...
He wanted what? He wanted advice from an IFBB pro? Fake IBB pro? Drug person? Give me a break, man. I don't understand these people. I don't understand these people. None of this makes sense, but okay, whatever.
It's not second nature. I still am not very...
Like me personally, I'm never doing any of these shows. Maybe in the past, I could have went to a show at 285 and walked on the stage and everything, right? I'd probably blow away all these so-called natties because I was a natty too. I would blow away this natty too. Get it? Being 285. I could have lowered my body fat a little bit more. Could have went on stage at 270. Lowered 15, took away like 15 pounds and be at like 270. You know? I know, I'd always had low body fat. And then because I'm an ectomorph. And so come on stage at like him, maybe 5%, 6% body fat. And appear, and then what? I don't know, man. Like, it just, I don't know. It never crossed my mind back in those days. They didn't even think about it back then, man. You know, maybe now I'm thinking about it, maybe I should have gone and tried one of these stupid ass bullshit shows. But it's all filled with drug addicts taking drugs or whatever the fuck they're doing. It's all fake. It's a fake sport.
Good at this, but I just don't like taking a lot of photos of myself, man. Even this lean, I mean, it's more fun when you're this lean. You take 6 selfies, bro, and stuff, and you guys freak out over my shoulders.
Okay.
But I still am not a huge fan of just recording and taking pictures of myself all the time, dude. In social media culture, there's no escaping it. Everybody has some level of narcissism in them that's inherent to presenting yourself on the internet. No way around it. I don't care what anybody says, but even whenever I was younger, though, I was the same way, dude. I don't know. There's so much more to life in this existence than... We're getting really esoteric now, aren't we? There's more to life than just like, look at my physique. You know, even if you feel good and you got a nice arm pump, you take a little selfie in the mirror, right? But just, I don't know, man. I've never just been tied to how I look in photos that much. Even though at this point, it's kind of important for what I do. But I just released a video on why a lot of people never see visible abs, and I talk about the training in the latter half of that video. The first half is about the timeline and eating and getting the muscle mass in general. Be sure to check that out. I'll link it in the eye in the top right. And stay tuned for my food guide. I think once the show's over, I'm going to have that totally done, ready to
Yes, only skinny ectomorphs have abs. Their abs show.
release. We're going to go over all kinds of aspects of nutrition in that guide. Not simply, oh, calories, protein, carb, fat, that's it. Nah, man. We're going to have tips for bulking, for cutting, how to divvy up your macros and meal timing, and how to overcome cravings,
Man, he looks funny. Look at him, man. It's small shoulders and chest and his little neck. And he's got a big head with small neck and little shoulders, little body. There's like a little body with a big head on it.
strategies to do that, all kinds of scientific
I
reference.
guess this is the effect of going natty, doing this natty. You get a big head and a small body. Okay.
And links. It's going to be very good. So stay tuned for that as well. That's all I can really report today, though. Yes. I mean, ab training is pretty boring. I don't even know if I'm going to record that. I'll probably record some of the coming workouts on this peak week just to see how slow I am in the gym. Actually, I probably shouldn't record that. I'll be wasting a ton of camera space and battery. Just me standing around in between sets. We're also going to talk about the strength decreases. I see a lot of you guys asking about that, and that's another video that's going to be coming out soon, too.
Strength increases? You mean practice strength or natural strength? Your natural strength has gone down because your natural whatever it is you're doing there has gone down. Whatever fluids and whatever things you were carrying, they went down. So yeah, your hormones are down because you're starving yourself, right? So it's kind of obvious your natural strength is going to be down. Now, I don't know about your practice strength. It definitely is probably tanked as well, right? You're not on drugs, dude. So it's tanked. It's tanked because you're tanking it.
You can adjust your training whenever you're cutting in a major deficit. You guys see I have a lot of content.
Adjust your training when you're in a major deficit. So you're more anabolic more catabolic than anabolic, yes. Stressing the shit out of your body and doing a bunch of things. This is crazy, man.
Here to make. I'm a one-man show. I write, I edit, I do the thumbnails, I do the videography, the photography, all the research, all this stuff, man. So there's going to be a lot of good content coming out. So stay tuned and thank you for your patience. But this is...
Like I said, I find this interesting what he's doing. It's just, this is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know. I got nothing against his channel. I just say natty slave because he's slaved himself to being this so-called natty. Whatever this natty bodybuilding is, I don't know. Personally, I don't understand it, but whatever.
Day one, it's kind of a boring day. It's cloudy here, kind of rainy. It's just very chill. This is just the beginning, and it's going to really start to heat up. But this has been...
Would I go to a competition now at 250 pounds? Well, I definitely would have to, I'd have to really put in a lot more effort then to lower my body fat. Well, it's not hard to dump 5% more. To be like him at 5%, well, I don't have to dump very much. But it would take work, and I don't really want to starve myself. And yeah, I probably wouldn't. I mean, I just do a high-fat diet and be fat adaptive and lower this fat. But whatever, man. There's all kinds of ways of doing it. I mean, the best way is the more efficient way of doing it, but okay.
And from me, guys, thank you for watching, and stay tuned to be sure to grab your program down below. A novice and intermediate's available.
Okay.
To get in direct contact with me, the best way to do so is on Patreon, and you'll get lifetime access.
Yes,
The best way to do so is the lifetime access to in the description to save money on some great products and services. And I will catch you guys next time.
Okay, I thought he was going to do something at the end elaborate, but I guess not. Okay. Anyways, man, yeah, I got to go. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel, comment down below. Helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next video. I don't know. Revival Fitness. Yeah, that was interesting, dude. Yeah, would you do that? Would you go through all of that? For what purpose? You think he's going to really make it as a YouTube person on YouTube? What is he going to sell? Bodybuilding programs and all that? Is he going to be like a Greg Doucette? I don't know, man. He's a little bit late in the game, and nobody's going to follow a natural person. They want to follow drug addicts because they love that artificial shit. That's why people like Sam Sulek, they look up to him, drug addicts like Sam Sulek and Greg Doucette and a bunch of these other drug addicts. They all look up at them. This guy, he's not going to get any recognition. He's just wasting his time, man. I'll see you in the next one. That's just my opinion. He's wasting his time. I'll see you in the next video. Tell me what you think about that. I'll see you later, man.